Welcome in, welcome back. This is episode 2 of the Lower Rung podcast. Obviously, I am your host, Austin Grubbs. I have my guest host here, John B. Johnny B. Call him anything you want as long as it's not John Lee. Shout out to John Lee.
It's
We
not a
are back.
bad name to be called, really.
It's so close. John B. John Lee. I can understand what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's a legend, so I don't mind sometimes getting mixed up for him, but I'll always send his guys over to him. So,
Yeah, man, we're not here to steal anything. I did see the live of you and Jersey today. I do apologize to my main man Jersey over there. For some reason, Tuesdays are just a blur to me. I mean, I'm either late to the podcast or I didn't show up last week. I had Mike Nichols text me. He was like, "Hey, man, where you at?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's Tuesday." But that was a good one today. Lots of fun interaction going on, myths and conspiracies and all that kind of good stuff.
yeah, we brought up the pod too, actually. So, getting a little bit of eyes on that. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, maybe yesterday had more of a Monday feel for you. So you know, weren't too
Dude,
sure. Sometimes I'm like, I have to look at the clock sometimes, check the calendar. What day is it? Sometimes it's noon.
I always tell people, like, if you really want me to remember something, you have to remind me. And not that I need a babysitter or anything, but I'm like, dude, my head is just like full of information. I just can't remember anything.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm always asking my girlfriend, that's this weekend, right? Not next weekend, and we're going there this weekend, and just it has to be asked a couple of times because otherwise I'll be like, that is today, huh?
Yeah, I had that come up recently. My wife's doing a garage sale this Saturday, and we have like a baby shower. And my buddy was like, "Hey, dude,
Mm,
you want to go golfing Saturday?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, put
yeah.
me in." And then I got the
Anything going on?
realization, yeah, I'm free. I'm totally free.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, uh, happens to me all the time. Don't feel don't be mad at me. It happens.
So what's it like down there? It's like pretty fall weather here, and by that I mean like 50s, 40s, getting pretty chilly at night.
Yeah, I mean it's freezing. Not necessarily freezing, but
Yeah,
dude, I went out today to run some errands, and I was just like, "This is my life." Because I always forget about winter because Texas is hot like 9 months out of the year, and it's like, "It's gonna be
yeah,
hot forever." And then
yeah,
it just went to cold, and I was like, "The next few months are gonna be miserable." Like, heating blankets and beanies and hoodies. You guys are used
yeah.
to it, I guess, but yeah, no.
No, you get the seasonal depression, and I guess here you have a little bit more of a like reminder that it's coming because you get so much of fall. I mean, it doesn't happen as long as you'd like it to because it's nice to see before all the leaves go, but you definitely know it's coming. You sometimes get a little like fake out of like really cold weather and then it'll go back to like 80s for a week, so there's like weird and that's when everybody gets sick too, so you deal with some of that, but other than that, you gotta
Yeah,
push through.
that's kinda how it is here. It's like 97 every day, and then it's like 54, and you're like, "Did I bring my RO inside?" And this wasn't even a
Oh
topic I was
yeah,
gonna go over, but I do wanna touch that. Um, whether you're new into water fed or, you've been water feeding for a long time, if that's a word, uh, bring your ROs inside, dude, or wrap them in a blanket, wrap them in some insulation. That is your only expensive filter on the system. Like the carbon and the resin, not a big deal if those blow out. Those ROs are 350 bucks a pop. I mean, if you have a max or a triple, you're talking about $1,000 or over. Make sure you pay attention to that winterization. Keep them nice and warm because I'm telling you, if those go out, it's not going to be a fun time for you.
yeah. I mean, have you ever had the resin actually, can that actually like freeze up or anything?
Funny you say that. I've never had that happen, but I had a guy call last year in the winter and he was like, "Hey, nothing's working, blah blah blah." Went over everything, and I was like, "Can you just send me a picture of what's going on?" Because if I don't know, I'm just like, "Dude, send me a video, send me a picture, I'll figure it
Yeah.
out." And
Yeah.
everything was frozen. His cartridge like split in half. It was
Whoa.
frozen. I
Where'd
was
he
like, "Yeah,
leave it?
that's that's not good."
Jeez. God
Yeah.
damn. I mean, yeah,
So, very close.
I guess that can all get cracked up and you got to keep it in a garage inside, keep it relatively warm, because there is that weird period where you're not quite done with your season yet, and you still have to get some cleans in, even though it might be cold as shit out.
Yeah, dude, it's super weird. Like, uh, we used to have a non-insulated shop, but we would just pull the trucks in and we are like, "We're good." And we'd come in and it's like 9 degrees and we're like, "I don't think I wrapped those ROs, so hope today
Ugh,
goes well." It's
yeah.
so preventative. You can obviously all of this from happening.
Yeah. Yeah, those ROs, I mean, they'll last you years, so you do want to protect them. I mean, it'd be a bummer to, only be a few months, especially if you are a new waterfed user. I mean, um, if you just got a waterfed system and you're excited about it, maybe you're down in Florida, you got a little bit more time in your season here, to have it, to have it freeze up because you left it somewhere vulnerable overnight. Because I mean, you know, in some parts of the country, it gets really cold this time of the year, even though it might be really warm during the day.
Yeah, I had a guy call me, I wanna say it was a couple months ago, and he was having a bunch of issues, and I went over there, checked it out, and I was like it had nothing to do with the filters, it was kind of just it was all gone, but he was like, "I've replaced the RO filter every single year for the past 4
Oh
years." And I was
man.
like, "Why?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I just thought it lasted a year." So another shameless plug, if you have any questions, call the main line. You'll get transferred to one of our sales reps, or you can call us directly. Our cell phones are on the screen. If you have a question like, "Hey, how long do ROs last?" We can answer that pretty quickly. I don't want you spending 350 a year when you don't have to, even though that's chump change for what you make in the field, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that I've talked to that are like, yeah, we change out the oil pretty frequently, and other filtration gets changed job, and I'm like, I don't like, even in such a like a heavily hard water area, I don't think that's necessary really. I mean, yes, it might be the case with one of the smaller filters, like the carbon filter or something like that might get grimy a little bit quicker than, in other areas, but I don't think that there's a situation where a membrane would last like 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, you have some well, I will say, and I won't name any companies, but there are a lot of companies out there that put, wastewater valve restrictions, and they'll just tell you to close the waste all the way to get more pressure, which is the dumbest thing you could ever do is just impede your wastewater. Don't do that. I don't care who you bought it from. I'm giving you some nice advice here. Do not turn your wastewater off. That's the dumbest thing you could ever do.
That's isn't that like essentially like a sepsis of like a system pretty much? Like you just bringing the shit into the system.
Yeah, no, don't do that. I like
Yeah.
pumps are so cheap. Even if you don't buy $1,000 water fed pump, you can go get a pump from Harbor Freight for 150 bucks. There are ways to get water pressure, and turning your wastewater off is probably the worst idea out there. And many people, many distributors sell systems with a valve that are like, yeah, just turn it off. Don't
Yeah,
do
I
that.
mean, there's a reason that the RO has the outlet for a waste, otherwise you would just not even think about it really, right?
It's so bad. Like I started a long time ago with a different company that I won't name, and I had to
Mhm.
flush the RO, and it was like a ticking time bomb. So you would get to the job, and it was like it could be 30 or 300. Like it was never at zero, and if it was
Right.
close to zero, it wasn't great. And it was like I had so many problems in the field. I had it was made out of black PVC, and in Texas
Mm.
it gets pretty hot. So the black PVC on 2 occasions exploded like a geyser in the back of the truck, so I was out of the system.
Wow.
Just please do your due diligence when you're buying a system.
Yep.
I'm not saying, you have to buy a Zero. I am saying that, but I'm not trying to be biased, but please look into every system out there before you just go buy a hunk of junk.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys in the field are like MacGyver kind of guys, and I think that's awesome. And I'll tell guys who like know about plumbing or something like that, and they want to like mess with the system, and I'm like, I'm going to tell you straight up, you're going to void your warranty if that's something you're willing to do, you know, then that's fine. But I just think the systems are made well enough that on their own they work perfectly. So you can risk it, I'd imagine. And if you know what you're doing, if you've built your own machine, I suppose in the past, maybe people have like rig mounted systems and stuff like that. Guys have sent me like some pictures of weird stuff that they've done with the systems, and I'm like, as long as it works for you, man, that's fine, and you're not expecting a new system back when it doesn't. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, Zero has a 12-year warranty. Um, I would not void that if possible.
Yeah.
I mean, do what you like, but yeah, no, I'm good with all that.
I mean, yeah, when you own it, of course, but you have that option of taking advantage of the fact that, if something happens to it, which it definitely could, we would be able to support that. So it's a good option to take there.
I was I was on a live stream with Southeast Soft Wash recently, and they were talking about, a lot of these things you can't really put a specific timeline on. So, resin change, RO life, carbon filter life, we can give you a basis, but there's no like specific time frame. It's different for around
Yeah.
the country, TDS coming in. So, like, they were having a lot of problems with, like, you get a jug of, like, F9 bark, like, how many square feet will this work on? It's like, I hate to tell you, I don't know, but I don't wanna lie to you. There's no, like, specific it depends on ratios, it depends on, a million different other things. And, well, speaking of MacGyver, I was saying, a lot of these guys, it's good to have a MacGyver sense to you, but you shouldn't operate on that all the time. So most of these guys, if you gave them like a remote to the TV and it says double A batteries, instead of putting double A batteries in, they're gonna put triple A's and put tinfoil in the gap. Like that's like it's okay to do that occasionally, but you shouldn't like work on that all the time. That's just
Yeah, yeah, the potato will only get you so far when it comes to working the remote, right?
yeah, dude. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I
I
hope you
mean,
had a good Halloween weekend. It was freezing down here, so I didn't like trick or treating with my daughter that much. I hate to say it.
hmm,
Were
yeah,
you,
yeah.
dressed up as, like, a window cleaning related person? I saw some window cleaning costumes out there. I personally, am a window cleaner 364 days out of the year, so I don't wanna be a window cleaner on
It's
Halloween.
the only Halloween is the only day. No, I was Georgie from It, and my daughter
Oh,
was the
you'll have to
clown. It
send
was
me some
pretty sweet.
pictures. You'll have to send me some
Yeah.
pictures. That's
Dude, I
cool.
got we saw the costume for Georgie for $35, and I was like, "No, no, no. All it is a raincoat, a yellow raincoat." We literally went to Harbor Freight. There was a like raincoat and like yellow overall set up, and I was like, 9.99, done. We're done.
Dude, it's so funny you bring that up. So, I follow this guru. I hate gurus, just to clear the air. I hate gurus, but I find it hilarious, like kind of like reality TV when gurus get on TikTok. And
Sure.
this guy was saying that Spirit Halloween. Do you guys have Spirit Halloween where you are? They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
okay. So Spirit Halloweens, they are only operating for like 2 months out of the year or something like that. And to buy them is like 10 to 15,000, but they make $1 million in revenue. And he was just saying, like, you're broke and you're on the couch eating Doritos, watching TV. You could go, save for a year and buy a Spirit Halloween and be like me and live in a mansion. I was like, you're right, dude. Yeah, you're right.
That's a weird avenue. I never really thought about it, to be honest with you. Because I don't think
All
they
these
accept
gurus, they have
returns,
nothing else.
right?
Yeah,
You can't
I,
return the
these gurus,
costume.
dude, they get me so much.
If you're calling yourself a
I
guru,
can't do
I,
it.
I don't know about
I
it. Sorry. No, I was just
Unknown
gonna say,
caller.
if you're calling yourself that, oh,
sorry,
we got a call. Somebody's calling in, guys.
not a call to the radio show.
No, what were you gonna say?
I mean, I do like some gurus. Like, I'm a Grant Cardone fan. He could be
Okay.
a false prophet if you call him that, but I like him. That one guy, I can't remember his name. He's married to some other billionaire, and they like bought a subway or something, and now they live in Costa Rica. I don't remember his name, but I don't know. Just watching those people, I would say more than half are fake. But it's so funny. Like, my wife watches reality TV and I watch gurus on TikTok.
Oh my God. I guess my version of reality TV is sports.
Yeah. Speaking of sports, you're a hockey guy. Do you feel like that guy
Yeah.
murdered that other guy the other day? Did you see that?
Well, the guy, I didn't see the video. I mean,
There we go. Okay. We'll edit that out. Don't worry about that.
I think the internet
Anyways,
just, did we break the internet?
the spam callers are getting really good at their job. Anyway, what I was saying was, before we had an internet parasite hop on this podcast, you watch hockey. Did you see that guy murder that dude? Did you see that?
I didn't get eyes on it. I heard about it. I still have to watch the footage. I tend to think that things like that don't happen on purpose at all, because things are happening so quickly. But that being said, I heard about this guy having maybe some history of some bullshit, that I don't know. I don't know, what kind of stuff you would have that would lead you into, slicing a dude's neck open. But
I
yeah, it fucking
that
sucks.
was
I mean, you
that
hope
was
to
the
never see
talk.
that kind of stuff.
That was the talk of the Halloween party last night. Like, I don't watch
Mm.
hockey, and here's the reason. First of all, I'm in Texas. All we have is the Dallas Stars. If you don't know me, I hate Dallas. I absolutely hate Dallas. Not not a Fort Worth guy, not a Dallas guy. I mean, we have the Dallas Stars, but I'll never root for them ever. I wish they would bring a team to Texas. If they brought a team to Texas, or to Houston, I would probably watch. So you guys
I
up
think they're
north have
thinking
tons
about
of
it, dude.
I would love it. I mean, the reason I don't watch
Yeah.
hockey is I compare it to soccer almost. It's hard to see the puck. Like, soccer is hard to see the ball. Not that it's
Oh
hard to see the
yeah.
ball, but
Yeah, you
there's
gotta
just
watch the
like,
players.
I gotta like read up on the rules, and like, I don't want to just watch a game and have no idea what's going on. So I don't know.
Yeah, the one thing that gets people is the icing when the player shoots the puck into the offensive zone, and uh, so basically you have to carry the puck over the line of in the offensive zone. So you can't like throw the puck in uh, past a couple of lines like in your own zone and then go in and try and get it. You have to basically like carry it over. So I think that screws with a lot of people, and what just happened? Why did they stop the game?
I know. I try to watch like
So
the
it's almost like
Stanley Cup.
soccer in a way.
Yeah, it's very comparable. I try to get in on like the
Yeah.
Stanley Cup. I think it's super cool. I've obviously I know big names like Ovechkin and the other guy
Yeah.
that I can't think of right
Crosby
now.
is the one.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby.
McDavid.
Yeah, like I know those names, but
Yeah.
that it's not cool to go to a party and talk about hockey when you know names that are like old. Like if I was like going to a baseball game and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm a Evan Longoria fan." You're like, "Wasn't he like drafted in '98?"
Yeah. 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 Knowing all the older players. I mean, you know, I've been watching hockey since like the 90s and so seeing a lot of the like basically a full generation of players retire because the game has gotten so much younger and faster. So, they just can't. I mean, I think like the oldest guy in the league might be like 38.
Yeah. I really
You know.
like hockey jerseys personally, like the super
Yeah.
big, you can wear a hoodie under it, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Speaking of, like, the oldest players, I'm a baseball guy, so I think it was R.A. Dickey was, like, the oldest pitcher ever, just knuckleball pitcher. He was, like, 54 out
Yeah.
there. He's, like, somebody's grandpa. Always into that.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's not Satchel Paige, I think he was one of the craziest. I mean, nobody throws a knuckleball anymore. He was on the Mets for a little bit too.
Yeah, yeah, I was a big R.A. Dickey fan, and, who else was a knuckleball guy? You can throw a knuckleball forever, basically. I don't know why, but that's a
Yeah,
thing.
because I think it's hard to read and it's like relatively easy on the arm. It's like not, gonna kill you really.
I was thinking
It's
of
just
a
hard
guy
to
on the
read.
Red Sox. You might know who I'm talking about. There was a Red Sox pitcher who was old throwing knuckleballs. Um, yeah,
I'm pretty
can't
good with
remember.
baseball history, but specifics sometimes, you know, over my head.
You know what I've gotten into recently, and this may age me a little bit, but I'm a big golf guy now. I can play it, I can watch
Oh
it.
yeah,
My wife hates it, but I'm super into golf right now. My wife says I'm hyper fixated, so I'll do something for a couple months and like forget about it. I was super into collecting cards. I would buy really expensive cards and like try to learn magic tricks, and that didn't last because I was like, "Yeah, this takes too long."
it's hilarious. Do your magic tricks at your spirit Halloween.
Yeah, pretty much. I was trying to get a side gig going on, but, hey, whatever.
Yeah. Austin's just
Um,
got his hat down on the ground, doing
yeah,
tricks.
please
Chris
put some
Angel
money
finish
in,
you.
please. Uh, Speaking of
Yeah.
Halloween, I know we got super off topic on Halloween. I saw Eddie Stewart dressed up as you and Alex. I thought that was hilarious. Eddie every year comes out with some kind of hilarious thing that he's going on.
Yeah, he's quite the character, man. I've seen some videos and pictures and stuff throughout the years, and the Halloween costumes are always hilarious. The
Gets me
bucket that
every
he
year.
had,
I think he
so
orders
good.
that from us and
Was he
makes
you
his
last year?
own little bucket. Yeah, he was like
He was,
me.
right?
Uh, he's been Mark Tanner, Alex, you. He's been in so many people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
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 got
may
me with
have been
the.
Alex a couple times. He might do it every year.
Yeah, he got me with like the buck teeth and the beard and the glasses. He doesn't hold back. He's he's on one.
Yeah, yeah. He apparently talked to Chris and he was like, "Hey, does John B have a good sense of humor? Because you know, I want to mess with him a little bit." And I was like, "Dude, go do whatever, do your work. I don't care."
Yeah, dude, you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
No, he thought I wouldn't get his Revenge of the Nerds reference in the whole costume there, but and I actually told him I haven't seen the movie, but I did pick it up. It's just was it like something from the 80s, I think, like the early 80s or late 70s or something? I just haven't seen it.
I'm not into old anything, old music, old movies. Like, if it's before 2012, yeah, X that. We're good.
That's pretty great.
Unless it's
I've been
conspiracy.
oh yeah. Well, yeah, we've got a couple of those. That, and a conspiracy, I don't think ever gets solved, right? So it can go on forever, really.
Dude, my wife thinks I'm
Yeah.
crazy 'cause I wanna get this chess piece of, like, Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, Stonehenge, Easter Island heads, Joe Rogan eating a mushroom, just, like, super crazy, 9/11. I'm super into it, and she's always like, "Oh, you're on one of your rants again." I'm like, "No, no, listen to me." Like, "There's an ice
Oh my God.
wall. Earth is flat."
The ice wall is great.
Oh, dude, like, it's so funny because if you type in, like, YouTube ice wall or flat earth or whatever, you can go on for hours, and then you're like, "Oh, this is legit," and then you're just
Yep.
like weeks later, you're like, sorry, mom, for whatever I put on Facebook, I apologize."
Yeah, yeah. It's like almost taking a political stance,
Oh, it is.
you know?
Definitely is. Uh, when I got here, me and Chris got along well because he's super into that. And I'm crazy and I know it. I'm some guy with a doomsday bunker with like 100 pounds of canned beans. But like Post Malone came out. When Post Malone moved from Los Angeles to Utah, he had like turrets on the back of his truck and he was like
Yeah.
on this underground bunker. And I was like, yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, if you have that cash, I mean, if you have Post Malone money and you can have like a bunker and like, prepare for any kind of outcome if there would ever be an outcome of anything in our lifetime, which, there seem to be little things happening here and there, but you know, I don't know. At least it's curious. It's curiosity, I think, is important. And if you don't have I don't know. I think there's a good line to be balanced with curiosity, and at least there's not that much of a line drawn in between opinion and fact. But that can be kind of disputed even at a flat Earth convention. So it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
To go on a Post Malone rant, so there is a company out in Texas. It's actually like an hour from me. They build supercars. So you buy a car, you bring it to them. It's called Hennessy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but
Okay.
they build supercars. Well, Hennessy made a 6x6 Raptor, so like this huge truck with six wheels, and they made it all super custom. But they put a turret on the back, like a legit 50 cal turret for Post Malone. Drove it to him out
Oh
in
my God.
Utah. If I could be anyone on this next life coming up, I would be Post Malone. I mean, the dude, could you imagine? Like, he has that Bud Light sponsor, and I
Yeah.
think um they just like drive trucks to his house and like unload just all of his Bud Light fridges. Like, I hate Bud Light personally. I'm sorry if you're a Bud Light fan, but I mean, that dude just does whatever he wants. Like, I
Free
can't
beer is
believe.
free beer, though. But he's from before 2012.
That's true. I'm gonna X him pretty soon.
He's got to do something a little more relevant, I guess, right?
Yeah, I could go on forever with Post Malone. I won't.
Well, I
Uh,
saw a cool thing that he did during the pandemic where they were doing like old Nirvana songs. It was like him and Travis Barker and some other dude. And I remember watching that, thinking it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's, from Dallas, which I hate Dallas, but, he's like a super old country fan, so he did, like, a country album. I don't think it ever got released, but that was cool. Just, like, old school Travis Tritt. He's an interesting feller. He had a kid with some girl, and, I mean, I don't know. He's Definitely an A-list celebrity. Those A-list celebrities, they get on drugs and they just become really weird and have hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm sure
Yeah.
$100 million would change me as well.
Yeah, we would come back with face tattoos and all of that shit. What a
Um,
guy, though.
I did wanna go over, a couple of pro window cleaning posts. This one guy was in there, he was saying, which we'll go over, he was kind of hinting at where the future of window cleaning is going to go, but his argument was,
Mhm.
like, all my customers are old, so, like, when they die, where's window cleaning gonna go? Well, I hate to break it to you, there's a lot of old people out there. Even when the old people die, there's gonna be old people. There's always old people. There's always gonna
Yeah.
be rich, single or not rich, single moms, but rich moms that are 35 that want their windows cleaned. Like, there's always gonna be a window cleaning market. He was kind of going into water restrictions out in California. We had some water restrictions in Texas. I didn't really care. I kept window cleaning and pressure washing, honestly. Uh,
Yeah.
the government ain't gonna tell me nothing, boy. But I wanted your thoughts on where the window cleaning, future is gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, unless we start getting hit with, unless the janitorial, because I guess that's what certain window cleaners, are classified under really, unless there's like some sort of widespread, like worldwide or countrywide, like shakedown on like water restriction, like you were saying. I don't know that there would be any negative necessarily. But then again, I'm not too educated on the actual, like, you know, any bills being passed or anything like actual, like, federal restrictions or anything like that. So, I mean, I can only hope, I guess, that, nothing too drastic happens in the near future, really, as far as that goes. But, yeah, I mean, at the very least, you're looking at, at at least you have cool sources to go to now, I mean, if you talk about the last probably like 15 years, but people getting a little bit more connected with different forms of social media. And I guess I'm talking a little bit more broadly about the whole window cleaning business. But yeah, I mean, everything's geared towards online now, and it's been for the past years. And anybody who's denying that is kind of silly at this point. But you know, I guess there's a level, and it depends where you are too. I don't know. Maybe you could speak a little bit more on it as well.
Yeah, I mean, that kinda goes into, the next thing I kinda wanted to go over is a lot of people are saying the market's too oversaturated and TikTok's taking window cleaning by storm and everyone's buying a zero pure and there's not enough windows to clean, which I don't think is a real possibility. There's so much glass out
Right.
there. There's this thing is oversaturated. The TikTok guys, Stevo and Jersey went over this on their podcast on Monday. It's like they are content creators. They're not really window cleaners. So even though like right now there's so many door knockers and there's so many TikTokers that are window cleaning, I think that will phase out. I don't think that's going to stay a thing. I don't think door to door is relevant. I don't think it'll ever be a substantial amount of work bringing to your company. I think it's a ridiculous idea personally. You're not a vacuum salesman or solar salesman. I don't see how that works.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not selling a product to like a product that a customer is going to use frequently on their own, and it's interesting because you never know if it is another thing that is just like a local thing. It might work for you, it might not work for somebody else. But then again, when some people say it's made me X amount, it's like, I don't know if you can. How many guys can you can't believe everybody and what they're bringing in, especially when certain people talk about their business.
Yeah, I mean, everyone lies on the internet. It's a thing. I mean, Jersey kind of hinted at the topic of, okay, these guys are selling that you can make $1,000 a day and you're going to make that every day for the next 6 weeks. Well, if you sell $1,000 worth a day of window cleaning, if you've never cleaned a window, $1,000 a day is a lot by yourself. So not only do you have to sell all day that $1,000 of window cleaning, but you have to do the work. So does that take you 2 days? Does it take you 3 days? I mean, it is a never ending event.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to get the jobs right to be able to do the window cleaning. So, you know, it's you know, that's why it makes sense to use a sales rep, to be honest with you, because you're a salesman yourself, and we can help you out, you can help us out. I mean, I feel like that makes sense, kind of like a yin yang sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of like on the same topic of door to door. Like, are business cards still a thing? Is that kind of like a '90s thing? I know a lot of people are doing the click business cards where you just put it up to their phone. And you kind of have all their information. I've kind of seen
Right.
that go away. It's gone more to like a QR code thing on your wrap, or it's kind of made its way out.
Yeah, I think that might be maybe the new business card, really, right? Because, I guess you're not using paper if that's a concern, and because really you could be spending a lot of money on a certain type of paper, but I mean, regardless, I would say that that wouldn't be necessarily like a major focus of mine, but I think it is important if you're going to get like a marketing package or something like that. Those door hangers are, like, pretty cool. There's certain things that another thing that I think you just have to know where what your clientele is like, and is it residential? Is it mostly commercial? Really, it depends on all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mainly a residential guy. I do commercial, I do storefronts, not very many of them. The thing is with storefronts is you have to build a route and you have to have a ton of storefronts to make money. If you drive 20 minutes in between stops and you're doing a $20 storefront, you're not making any money.
Right.
Um, that's why I've had a lot of success with residential, but with residential, it takes a lot of advertising and marketing. So if you're doing EDDM or door hangers or whatever, it's like a 1% ROI or even lower. And you have to hit the same block multiple times because you have to think about it. You are being advertised to every day. You just don't know it. There's so many advertisements out there, whether it's commercials or magazines or whatever. And like me personally, there's like a shotgun tool. It's like called the Kraken or something. If you've heard of it, seen it on TikTok. But
Hmm.
they probably have to hit me 8, 9, 10 times before I even think like, okay, like that's cool. And then a couple more times before it's like, okay, like I'm gonna buy that. So most people
Yeah.
get into window cleaning and they're like, oh, everyone wants their windows cleaned, or I'm gonna hit them one time and they're gonna go for my $1,000 special. Like that's just not how it really works.
Yeah, yeah, you're definitely building relationships, the ones that you get, and especially if you're working residential jobs, it's a thing that I think you learn as you go, really, what's best for you. But trying new things, I think, is really important when it comes to ways of getting your name out. And unless you're spending a lot of money and time, obviously. If you can throw your name out there to somebody or something like that, little ways of, just trying to get words, word of mouth, really. And I don't know that that's the ultimate solution, but website's a
Yeah.
good start too, I think.
Yeah, and I'm an advocate forever of wrap trucks, wrap vehicles. A lot of guys will say, "I never get a call on my wrap truck." I'm like, "Well, do you ask every single person how you heard of me? How'd you hear about us?" Or, it goes beyond just getting value from your wrap truck. Like, you may not get a call from it, but do you look professional? Do you look like a actual franchised company that came to the house instead of some person in like a '09 Dodge white van with a window busted out? Like, there's a lot of value to a wrap truck.
Yeah, because it's a luxury service, and who are you, trying to compel? What your clientele you're trying to compel here? They're probably, they see a wrapped van or something, like a plumber or, another service. And, it's like the whole neighborhood's like, who do you use? Who's your guy? It's kind of a thing just like that.
Yeah, and speaking of plumbing, I follow a plumber on TikTok that was saying he totally changed his business because he switched from free estimates to $99 estimates, and most people would be like, "Well, my customers would never go for a $99 estimate." And it was really not an estimate, it was a diagnostic fee, which we really can't do in window cleaning. But you show up for 99 bucks, you diagnostic, and if you do the service today, we'll waive the fee. And
Hmm.
he was saying how he started making two, three, $400 an hour because he started working for higher clientele, kind of like window cleaning. If you can do one house a day for a really high clientele and make three, $400 an hour, it's better than working for $100 an hour for the middle class guys doing 10 jobs a day. You know, it's the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're using, less gas in that situation. You're just, I mean, can focus on a singular job, so definitely helpful in that situation.
Yeah, I've always told guys like, when people say window cleaning is going to be erased or window cleaning is kind of going to fade out, going to be an endless amount of rich people out there. We always service the higher class, even though we have some middle class customers. The higher class, like people that own yachts and have maids and like I don't know, just
Yeah.
higher class. They're always going to be out there. I mean, there's a never ending resource of millionaires and billionaires in America.
Yeah, totally. I mean, somehow there may, I almost like always want to not go out, knock on doors and just be, nosy and go like, how do you make your money? What do you guys do here? What do you
Yeah,
do? Just, what did you do to get this?
it's funny you bring that up because I always ask people, which may be a little strange, but I'm like, "What do you do for a living?" And it's always something so stupid, either they're lying to me, and they're doing something else, or it is so stupid. It's like, "Oh, well, chain link fences, the twisty top? Yeah, I make the twisty tops." It's just like
Yeah. Or
it's
it's
so
like a job where they're like the middleman of some, like I'm the liaison to the, thing. And you're just like, I don't know what you just said, but I mean, great for you.
Yeah, I've always wanted to invent something so stupid, like, why didn't I invent toilet paper or light bulbs or something? Like, there's this one guy, we clean his house, 3 times a week, and his assistant drives, like, a bright yellow Porsche, and I'm always like, "How'd you get that position?" And he, like, never answers the question, and he's probably, like, killing people or selling drugs or something, but, like, "Oh, well, Jim Bob over here bought me a mansion next to his mansion, so I'm always close by." Like, "Alright, cool, I just need a
Okay.
Jim Bob."
Yeah, right. I'm sure it was that simple, right? Yo, there
Like,
was one
"Okay,
thing that I
cool.
wanted to know about here, and it's about the tattoos.
What do you got?"
Is there a zero tattoo? Is there a
Yeah.
WCR tattoo in the works? Do you have one now?
Okay, so I wanna go over this. So if you have a window cleaning tattoo, we're gonna share this in the pro group and share this all over, so comment below with a picture of your window cleaning tattoo. Um,
Yeah.
so we have, like, conventions every year, like the Huge, the IWCA, and then we also have, like, sales trips, so, like, we haven't done one in quite a while. Me and John haven't been on one together. But we used to do like
Right.
sales trips where we'd go out and, just have meetings and, all that boring salesy stuff. But I was telling Josh and Steve how I was like this close to getting a WCR and a zero tattoo. So I was either going to do it on like the back of my arms or the back of my legs, have both of them. It was going around back in the day. This was probably only a year or two ago, but,
Mhm.
somebody had mentioned something stupid about, like, getting a WCR tattoo, and Chris was like, "I'll give you $1,000 if you get the tattoo, and I'll pay for the tattoo." And I was like, "Oh, dude, this is genius. Like, I could use $1,000 and,
Right.
you pay for it anyways." So I was with my buddies and I forget where I was, but it was not a good time to get a tattoo, let's just say that. And I was
Sure.
this close and it was just kind of like a deal that went wrong. Um, if Chris still wants to give $1,000 for a tattoo, I'll get a WCR and a zero tattoo.
Sure.
The cool thing about it is, if I get a zero tattoo, I can't go sell for anybody else. If I get fired and I try to sell for somebody else, I'm branded, dude. I'm stuck with the
That
brand.
is true. Yeah, you can't really can't cover something up like that either.
Yeah. I'm seniored in. I'm tenured in. Like,
I,
I talk to my wife about it all the time. She's like, "That's so dumb. Why would you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm a window cleaner. I make horrible, rash decisions."
have a couple horrible rashes too.
Yeah, dude. Like, I I'm super into it. I would do it.
You
So
have
Chris,
tattoos though, right? Like you have a couple?
yeah, like,
Okay.
I got a couple half sleeves and, like, I do the Friday the 13th. Those are super cheap. You just walk in like a flash sale,
Right.
stuff like that. So I would do a 0 tattoo for show. So I don't think Chris
Where's it
listens to this.
going?
Oh, probably neck,
Right
throat.
in the front and center. Yeah.
Yeah, just so you
Have it
know, I'm about
zero,
this.
zero on the neck, so like people who don't have any contacts are just like, is that what you think of yourself? And then you're like, no, no, no. On the contrary.
Yeah, we'll get to that point. We'll see where it goes. And we did have here, for you window cleaners out there. Do you listen to anything while you're window cleaning? I'll kind of do a backstory here. So I used to be super into EDDM, not EDDM, marketing, EDM, um, like marshmallow and just super, just rave music. So I would like put on rave music while I was cleaning to hype me up and just work faster.
Yeah.
But maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm a weird individual. So if I listen to music, I kind of get set in my brain of if I hear the song again, I'm kind of in that place. And I had to
Right.
stop listening to music because on jobs that went horrible, like I had this one job where we ruined their outdoor kitchen and we broke their security cameras and we bleached their Cadillac, like horrible, horrible job gone wrong. Like, I can't listen to that music again, so it, like, ruins the music for
Oh
me, so I
no.
stopped listening to music while I clean windows.
Oh yeah, that's like if you get into a bad car accident or something and you remember the song or something like that. Yeah, I could see that definitely happening.
Yeah, so I
But
do,
yeah,
like, audio
that'd be interesting
books.
too, to know what people are listening to. I know like sometimes we've done like surveys and stuff in the pro group and things like that where is it podcasts, is it music, is it an audio book? Because kind of like, man, I don't know about you, but I'll jump but while I'm working and like trying to work on something, I'll like cycle between the three really.
I lost you for a second, I heard a bunch of babble.
Oh, I don't know what you heard, but I basically cycle through like audiobooks, music, and podcasts for the most part when I'm listening to stuff. But it'd be interesting to see like what people listen to in particular, like as far as music or podcasts, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, I do a lot of podcasts, a lot of audiobooks, I've kinda switched to that. It makes me work a little bit slower, but, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just got to be in the moment, and that I completely understand, especially if you're, detail oriented and, just trying to be aware of your surroundings as well.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and for some reason, this spam internet bug is hitting us again. But we are close to
Hmm.
an hour, so we'll probably
Sure.
just call it here. But we do have a lot in the works. We This is episode 2, but we would like to do live events and giveaways
Yep.
and phone calls and guests. So if you'd like to be a guest, just comment down below. This will be in the pro group. Or if you'd like to call in, we'd like to do that. So yeah, this is Wednesday, so we're gonna go ahead and post this. And I did want to say before we go, there are a ton of window cleaning podcasts out there. So Jersey has WCR Nation, the Squeegee Life. Those guys over there, they're super fun. They're on Thursday nights, and every other Monday, Jersey and Steve-O do a window cleaning podcast. So we don't want to interrupt their schedule or try to mimic them in any way. We're kind of doing our own thing over here, but we will see you
Yeah.
next week. And we really appreciate everybody that watches and chimes in, and we'll get it going.
Yeah, yeah, like give us a call if you need any gear or have any window cleaning questions. Say you've seen the pod even, that would be cool. But like you said, we're not trying to start any podcast wars in the window cleaning space.
Yeah, yeah. Eventually, we're gonna have to do one giant podcast. We'll have 13 people on here, and it'll just be a battle of the gangs.
I'd be happy to sit back and listen to most of what the other podcasts would be chirping at each other.
Yeah, so we'll
That would
see
be
how that
great.
goes.
Yeah. Get a mystery box though.
Yeah, get a mystery box right now. They're 99 bucks, comes with 125 bucks worth of gear. The ultimate residential kit is 15% off. The ultimate commercial kit is 10% off. We have tons of sales. Windowcleaner.com. Like John said, our numbers are here on the screen. So call us, text us, and we'd love to put that order in for you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great one.
Yep, we'll see you next time.